Hello, and welcome to Intuitive Clarifications with Natasha. I am here to assist you in your life because I so am called by the universe and my soul to help you. So, thank you for being here and witnessing your truth to be your truth. And I'll say that again before I channel because the fact that you are in the midst of finding your truth, and I want you to honor that moment in you. So, welcome here. And I know it's the day before Thanksgiving here in the US, and I am here to do this just to kind of give people a chance to understand that, we're walking into some big changes of our worlds. And I keep saying that. I know I do, but we are because we've got so many planets going into retrograde right before we go into the year. And we've got new government coming in. We've got a lot of things happening. And, Pluto just went into Aquarius. So that's the year of new changes for the next 20 years. And it's the death, the rebirth planet. So death, the rebirth in Aquarius. And it's up to you and how you'd interpret that. I'm going to let you look that up for your truth. But, it's like, and then we got Mercury going into retrograde. We've got Mars somewhere in December going into retrograde. I heard, there's just all this stuff going on and into our story. And if you're feeling upside down and inside out, you're along for the ride. So with that, I want you to remember that no matter where you're at and what you're doing, you are going to embark into some new stories with your soul's walk, ideas. So if your mind is in control, you know what? Your mind's going to have to give it up because of the fact that, sometimes our mind likes to talk about things and, wants us to go down the rabbit hole, wants us to go into our story, us to go into what we're doing. And I was just talking to somebody yesterday and, oh my gosh, the shame, the guilt, a lot of that might be stirred up right now for you. So if you are dealing with shame and guilt, I want you to remember that you can overwhelm it with, I'm okay now. I'm all right now. I will be okay. Things are going to be okay. And if you keep saying those kinds of things, your mind will start saying, oh, shame, we don't have to hold on to you anymore, do we? Because we're persevering through it because we've all made decisions in our past that haven't been the better. We've all done things in our past that isn't in the better. And so going forward. But what I really wanted to talk about today was how to be thankful. And that's the thing is you can't be grateful and thankful and in shame and guilt at the same time, right? So it's two sides of the same coin, yes, but you can flip that coin over. Do you want to play heads or do you want to play tails? Sometimes I put the coin on the side and I turn it whichever way it's going to go. But, what I want you to remember that as you go forward and as you're going into this life that, things are happening. And, first off, I want to really honor these moments that we're in. Tomorrow's being Thanksgiving. I'm not expecting a lot of people to be here tonight, but I just felt the calling. You can watch this at any time because really it's not necessarily about this moment, but I can tell you that, things are happening around and things are happening and, we got spirit around us, a lot of spirit around us. Me being an intuitive medium, I see a lot of spirits around us, and it's pretty heavy right now. And we can only do and be where we're at. And grief is really huge during this time. There's a lot of triggers for grief. We're not around family members. We're not around a lot of people we love. We're not around a lot of things that we want to have happen. And that's the thing is that, I have a kid that's in New Mexico. I won't see her at all this year, besides when I went and saw her at Memorial Weekend. And, I'm sad about that, and it probably won't hit me until, hi, Paula. Thank you for being here. I probably won't be able to really feel that until we're sitting down and eating, right? So, sometimes this grief thing will hit you at certain times because we all have a story around, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not doing what I want to be. I don't have what I want to have. And I was talking to a friend the other day and it's like, well, if I do get this, I'm not going to be happy. If I get that, I won't be happy. We all have these moments where, happiness is a perspective, and happiness is not always where we're at. And so sadness can throw us into grief too. So if you can remember that during this time, we're going to be having a lot of emotions. And, emotions are part of the story of our life. So, going into this, how are your emotions doing right now? How are your perspectives doing with those emotions? And, you know, being thankful is something that, even me just saying I'm thankful, it moves me forward in where I'm at instead of sitting back. And so when you try to do things, and that's the thing is like I've had, in my morning job that I do working at school, that, there's a lot of people that are saying that they're doing Thanksgiving for the first time. And they're feeling that angst. And I was telling somebody, it's like, hey, you're going to do it perfectly imperfect. It's going to be what it's going to be, kind of like a wedding day. You can't necessarily think what it's going to be until you've done it, right? So it's just going to be the three of us here at Thanksgiving. I actually need to maybe call somebody because I keep getting a hit that I need to check in with them to see if they have a place to go. But I feel like they're going to go up to their grandmother's. Uh, so it's a thing that we can make a choice to be just one or two or three people, or we can make a choice to have more people around. It's a miracle wherever it is. And celebration of life is an interesting thing. Now, one thing that I do to help myself when I am in the midst of change, in the midst of life happening, in the midst of stories happening, is that, like Thanksgiving dinner, I'll probably just get a small little plate out and I'll put it at the table, and I'll just make an ancestral plate. So sometimes I, put down turkey, a little bit of turkey, a little bit of gravy, a little, and all of a sudden I'm hearing, can I have some green beans? Can I have, and it's not necessarily that they're really eating that I know of, but it's that honoring of the ancestors. And so if you are feeling like you are in the midst of doing things and trying to do things, and you are in the middle of grief, that's one thing that I do that is physical, that I do, is I have a place that I don't necessarily do forks and plates and everything like that. You can if you want to, but I do a plate and I honor the ancestors, everyone who's lost. And I've lost a lot of ancestors. I've lost a lot of family members. I have not lost a child. I have not lost a husband. And so that is another side of grief, when you lose somebody in that story. But the thing is, so I've lost everywhere else. And so even, me grieving the pets that I've had, we all have these things that are happening and stories that are happening. And, when we get into the grief part of our story, that it's okay to be sad. There's been times where I'm mashing potatoes and I have tears running down my eyes or down my face because it hit me at that time. And going into that, do those things that can bring you into some joyful moments. If you can, smile, be it's okay if you're in grief to have happiness or smile or do those things that can bring out some joyfulness. And grief could even be that somebody's not at dinner with you. I know that there's a couple people here that usually watch that, their family is everywhere. And so, and if you don't have very many friends, it's hard to get together with somebody. So if you can, remembering that this is a time for gratitude. Yes, but how can you be in gratitude if you don't have a child anymore? How can you be in gratitude if you don't have a mother or a father that you love so dearly? No, not all of us have had parents that we loved. We don't all have, those kinds of things that are so divinely wanting to be. I was talking to another person who, she was abused a lot when she was younger. And, does she have a relationship with that person? I don't know, but yet she still struggles with memories of that abuse. And so how do you negotiate? Well, sometimes that grief can even happen that it's like, "Hey, I didn't have what I wanted." You know, was that a bunny? There's something that just ran across. I don't know. Just something that ran across in my yard, and I just saw it, and it was a weird color. Um, so, all we can be is do is who we are and what we're doing, right? And even if things go by us, life goes by us so quickly that we don't see what it is, we can only be who we are in the moment. And so if your emotions are a little bit high right now, that's okay. If they get higher, if they get more involved as we go into December and in through that time frame, depending on what you believe in, that you're going to have moments where it's like there's blessings and then there's sadness and then there's blessings and then there's grief and then there's sad and happiness and then there's sadness. So if you can, you know, find that rhythm where you're at and in the moment where you're at. And if you're in a moment where you are feeling overwhelmed by an emotion, step away for just a moment, honor it, be with it, and then say, okay, I have to get back in. Talk to it like a friend, talk to it like you're part of its story, talk to it like it's a part of you, because it is a part of you. And if you can, go into who you are and what you're doing with gratitude for everything that you are and every emotion that you are, because emotions are real, and fear is real, anxiety is real, but anxiety is part of fear. So really, if we're anxious about something, it's about walking forward, right? And it's not necessarily, when we're anxious about something, it's about stopping for just a minute and feel like, okay, I can breathe for a minute. Let me look at this, and then I can move forward. So anxiety is just fear that has a different name now. And, I know for me, I deal with fear. I deal with an anxiousness when I get into a fear. I mean, there's been times where, we went up and did the mountains, and my car almost rolled off the hill. Well, yeah, I was a little anxious. Yeah, I was a little fearful. But the thing is, though, and I still don't like edges of cliffs even now. Before that I didn't either. But it's that when we're in those moments and in that story, that things sometimes get what's the word? Involved a little differently. So honor those emotions, honor that story when you're there, honor who you are, honor that brilliance of who you are and what you're doing. And, going into the dance of life, that people don't always really understand why their emotions are so strong sometimes. It's because we don't give them any credit. We don't give them a voice. We don't give them any ability to move forward. I know for me that there's sometimes when during the holidays, I'll sit down, watch a Hallmark movie or watch a movie that's kind of one of those types of movies. And I'll sit in the dark and I'll just cry and I'll let it out. I'll let myself feel it. And then I'll go to bed. And the next morning I'll get up and I'll say, okay, whatever emotion that was, because sometimes I just let the emotion go. I don't care what its name is. I don't care if it's grief. I don't care if it's story. I don't care if it's mojo, pink, purple, whatever it's named, right? So I just let it be and let all those tears represent something. And when I do that, it gives me a chance to honor me. And that's the difference, I think, that me being a double Cancerian, me being who I am, that, my Mars is in Cancer. I have a lot of planets in water. And, I have an astrologer that who's starting to do the 13 signs. And that would mean that I would be a Gemini. Well, my brain's a little bit everywhere. So, but I don't know how many planets would change up to where they were in water still or not. Um, but, it's neither here nor there, and it's kinda an interesting thing because I can tell that I'm changing a little bit, that, yes, I have emotions. Every sign, every, astrological sign has emotions. We all do because we all have a sign. Everybody has a Cancer in their sign. Everybody has, Leo in their even if you don't have any planets in it, it's still in your system. So you're all gonna have these kinds of different emotions, and especially if we have a planet that is in a sign of water, which is a little bit different emotions. So when we have these planets that slip through, I'm not an astrologer by any means. I do kind of dab a little bit in it with knowledge, but yet I'm not necessarily it. But when we there is these things that, planets that do go through the sign of Cancer or Pisces or Scorpion, that when we do have these planets, that even in just as a 3-hour process where the moon might float through a sign, or Mars might float through a sign, or Aquarius, or let's say, Mercury goes through a sign, or one of those planets will go through a sign that's water. We'll dip into a little bit more emotion than we think we are, and we're wondering, why am I so emotional today? Why am I so much on edge today? Well, it's because the planets are doing their little dance. And so if you have these moments where it just hits, that's okay. That's okay. You know, and if it hits in while you're driving, a lot of times I would cry when I'm driving. I would just say, "Can you just wait a minute until I can pull over so I can not have to try to see while I'm driving?" Because sometimes we get thinking, and thoughts do create emotions and memories. And like when I was hugging my friend at work, that, she just lost her son. This is her first Thanksgiving without her son. Actually, um, it's only like 3 months old that she's lost her son. And, so it's like honoring that moment. It's still fresh, but she wants it to think that she's years past it, and she's not. So honor where you're at and what you're doing and where things are at. And like I said, grief doesn't have to be about, it's so and so didn't get a chance to come. That could be grief. So where are you and what are you doing can really engage with that. Now, I know for me that I can only be one thing or another, and that's one thing that when I'm in this emotion you know, of grief or story, that many a times that I give myself a time limit, uh, and then I try to think of something with gratitude, think something with, because there is that thing that it's like, like, have you ever started crying and you look up and it's hard to cry? That's one thing that it's one of those things that you can negotiate. So, you know, I know this is a very big time for being grateful, thankful for our lives. And yes, it is. I am so grateful for what I have. I am so grateful for my kid. I'm so grateful for, my kids. I'm so grateful for everybody. But the thing is though, life is around us still, and things aren't always the way we wish they would be. Things are changing. Our government is changing. There's been conversations coming down about the new president coming in, about the tariffs and all that kind of stuff. Well, we're not here yet. We're not here yet. And that's the thing, is that, things haven't appeared all the way. You know, it may still be the way it is. I don't know. I do care. I do want to be able to pay for groceries. I do want to do this. I do want to do that. But I have to deal with where I'm at right now. And where I'm at right now is doing my show with you. And, I want you to know that no matter where you're at and what you're doing, you're going to be okay. Just like my cat here, my little Rocky here in the rocking chair next to Teddy. Today he had, he was playing with a plastic bag, one of those bags with the handles on it, and, being inquisitive. Well, he got it around his neck. And that doesn't sound like it wasn't like around his neck. It was just like he just put his head through the handle, and it was like, Mom, I can't get out of it. Sometimes we feel like we can't get out of where we're at, but that's why we let our emotions walk through. Let your emotions walk through, but give them a time limit. Give them a destination. Give them you have 5 minutes. You have, you know, give them a time limit and then start thinking of something else. Because when we think of something else, we can always give our understandings to other things. And if we stay in that rabbit hole, if we stay down, we stay weighted down, our brain starts thinking of it over and over and over again. And it's kind of like a ticker tape going across the bottom of a screen. You can change the words in the screen. Kind of like when, there's school closures, right? And they're doing the school closures. Well, sometimes it's 2 hours late for school closure, and then pretty soon they're not in school anymore. They've made the decision to call it. So you can change what's going across on the bottom of the screen, the ticker tape. You can erase a chalkboard, Sometimes I've had to erase my chalkboard. Things are written on the chalkboard. I'll erase it. Hi, Veronica. Thank you for being here. Do these things. You could use these skills at any point in time, even if you have thoughts that keep running around in your head that do not change. It doesn't even have to be about grief. It could be just a thought that keeps running around your head. Well, our minds like to be in control. And if we can, what you can do is like just start thinking something different. Write something else on the chalkboard, or the whiteboard. Erase what's on the whiteboard. What's something that we can say that is negative? Why did he do that to me? Why did they do that to me? Why did they do that to me? We'll just say that. Why did they do that to me? Why did they do that to me? Write that on the whiteboard. Why did they do that to me? Well, erase that and just say, I don't care. 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 And what does that do when you start saying something different than what is happening in you? And that's the thing is if you change what is being said, that you got to disrupt the disruptor. You got to disrupt this brain part of us that wants to be in control and start saying something different. So if you are getting overrun by emotions, think about how can you stop the ticker tape and put another word in there, erase the whiteboard and write in another word, do something, you, say, if you're saying, why did that have to happen to me? Why did that have to happen to me? Why did that, whatever that is? I'm just throwing out ideas. I don't want to name something or claim something. And you can say, well, it's okay now. 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 I'm okay now. I'm okay now. And if you can keep doing that kind of thing, that does help with the brain that wants to keep going down a rabbit hole. And grief and emotions can bring you down a rabbit hole. And, putting something simple in can really help with that. So I'm hoping that this helps. What's this? Somebody wants me to say something here. Well, the angels are wanting you to know that you are never alone. That the angels really want you to remember, and it doesn't matter what angel I'm talking about. The angels really want you to remember that your loved ones are never alone, never walk over alone, never are alone. And there's a lot of angels that are standing with the loved ones, watching you cook, sitting on the couch with you, or standing behind the couch with you. There's a lot of loved ones who are around you. And Veronica, I am grateful for your discussion or your dedication to us. Thank you. You are a wonderful human being. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Love you so much. Oh, Veronica, thank you. Yes, I so am dedicated to being who I am And my life calling is to bring wisdom to life and some kind of hope that tomorrow can be better and the next minute can be better. Even though we have this stuff happening around us, things can be okay. And remembering that time does move forward. Now, thank you, Ditto. Thank you, Paula. You both are such a wonderful support for me. And that's all we got to be sometimes, is support for each other. So hugs to both of you. I wish I could hug you in person. Hugs to both of you, because you two are very much miracles in the works. And I want you to remember that you two are miracles in the works. So at this moment, I'm getting tapped that it's time for Mother Mary wants to come in. And then I think even Jesus wants to come in. So I don't know how long I'll be channeling, but they want to give you a message. I've been kind of skirting around what they want to say, but remembering that your truth is your truth. And if I channel, remember, you don't have to believe that I channel, but if you want to just hear their words and decide if those words sit with some truth for you. Remembering that Mother Mary and Jesus are not religious beings. They are spiritual beings giving a message through many religious moments. So as we go forward, uh, it's a moment where we can all be. And Paula says, me too, because I could use a hug. I'm sure that's what they are here for, hugs. I know hugs are important. People come up and ask a hug from me because they say I'm one of the best huggers, because I hug. I truly hug. I embrace. I embrace. So anybody who wants a hug in Washington within reason, I am here. Okay, so Jesus, Mother Mary, angels, they are not a religious based being. They are a spiritual being here to give love and guidance for them, or for those around you. So if you don't believe nothing better, yes, here's one for you, Natasha. Thank you. Nothing better. You guys are amazing. You are amazing. Okay, so I am going to channel. Do you have a question for either Mother Mary or Jesus that you can type in real quick? I remember, I will not see questions when I'm channeling. Your truth is your truth. I just try to be here to be a voice for them. They are a voice through me. So, um, you know, but Mother Mary, I've always witnessed Mother Mary being mom. I have a mom that's passed, um, but mom is, am I on the right path? That, yes, I'll keep that in thoughts for you, so that she can answer. Okay. So going into this, that, we're all in the middle of life. We're all in the middle of our story. And I just want you to remember that you are so loved. So here I go. Okay, Mother. Mom is mom, though. Mom is mom. Mother Mary is mom. She is loving. She's kind. She's been a mom before. She will be a mom always. And she has come to me, even though I don't have a mom here in the physical plane, and gave me what I was asking for. And what a gift that was. So, okay. Dear ones, you are so amazing in who you are and what you're doing. So do not worry, dear Veronica, that you are on the right path, because you are on a path, right? So, as you are on a path, remembering that there's going to be decisions, there's going to be a story, there's going to be these moments, there's going to be these, oh, why did I do that? Don't worry. Don't worry. Because everything that you have chosen to do has built you up to be you. There are things that are going on around you that you may not always understand, but then remember, dear one, that you will find the answer when the answer is needing to be. Not before, not until then. So trust the process, my dear friend, and know that I am here with you. So when you are in the midst of this or that, remember to call upon me and I will be here for you in the story. So, my dear friend, Veronica, there are going to be changes after the new year for you, but don't worry. They are going to help you shake you up to move you into the new thing. We cannot describe them all right now, but it's a little bit around your job, but it's okay. Things are going to change up a little bit for your betterment. So it may be like the floor is dropping out, but yet you will know that your feet will be underneath you because you have earth underneath you, right? You have Mother Mary with you here, me. You have Mother Earth here with you, helping you be. So go forward. You are where you're supposed to be. But remember that you can walk in the story every day. Wake up, do your better, and then make decisions as decisions come forward. And if you're in a decision that you don't know right from wrong, remember you'll ask your gut. The gut knows. The gut will feel heavy if it's not a good decision, and there'll be lightness. And if it's a little bit turned up, it's okay. Give it another 10 minutes or so to make a decision. Some decisions don't need to be made right away, and you earthlings try to do that, don't you? It's like replying to a text. You want to reply to a text right away, and sometimes you need to wait to think about what to say. So remember that things don't have to happen right this minute. And if somebody asks you to give you an answer right now, then you need to tell them, let me go to the bathroom or let me go get my feet underneath me and think about it for at least 5 or 10 minutes, please. Everything can wait. Even if it is for 5 or 10 minutes, to give yourself a chance to breathe, to get your breath, to get your story. And so remembering that as you go forward, things are going to be changing coming in this year. Things are going to be changing bigger than you can imagine because you are in the midst of a planetary huge shift. The dimensions are shifting, the things are changing, and you are going to be going through some big shifts and changes. But all you can do is trust the process. Trust the process of where you're at and what you're doing. And when you can do that, the wisdom will be there for you. I am here with you, helping you. If you want to go shopping, shop with me. I love deals. I love going in and being an amazing thing for you. So let me help you. Let me be with you in the decision that you're making. So, as you are walking forward, remember that you are okay. Things are going to work out for yourself as you go forward. And as you are in the midst of life, things are going to be up and down. I love you. You are loved. And remember that no matter what happens, every turn of a corner is a corner to see around in the future. Right? You don't know what's around every corner, even though you've been around that corner sometimes, right? So, let's say you're driving down the road and you take a right. You cannot see what's around that corner before you take that right, even though you may know that there's a pink house and a yellow house and a blue house and a green house. But you don't know if there's somebody parked in a certain place. You don't know if there's somebody walking across the street. You do not know if somebody has a couple of people over. You don't know the story, right? So be ready for that change, but know that not everything can be foreseen. That's why I'm not giving you details, because things can change, right? Things can change. There's something that will change. We don't know. But I'm telling you something that might be a little bit change for both of you, all of you, here in the new year, because your government is coming in with a new president. And yes, some people are wanting him and some people are not. But that is okay, because all we can do is really walk with what is, and things will happen. Everyone is going to go through this change, no matter who the president was, because this planet is ready for this change. And you humans, as I am, were ready for this change too, even though you might not know it. There's some that will be protesting, yes. Why not? Because they don't like change. But remember, even a simple change can be hurtful for a moment, and then it moves on because decisions made. And so going into this, you gotta have a chance to be where you're at. Love yourself through this moment, and remember, we cannot all see the future. So where are you and what you're doing is loving you. Please look in the mirror and love you. Give yourself a hug. There is a teacher at her school that we have put in her understanding, and she has the kids hug themselves. She counts to at least 10 every day. What a gift for those kids to learn to hug themselves. So as you go forward, remember, as this dear one was saying about hugs, can you hug you? Have you tried hugging yourself lately? Remember that a hug can change the energy of you so much, even a self hug. It feels different, doesn't it? So believe in who you are and what you're doing, and don't worry about the yes or the no's or the rights or the wrongs, because the rights and the wrongs will be righted and the wrongs will be wronged in the future. And today, in this moment, you are just being you. Does this make sense? I hope. I love you, my dear ones, and remember that I am here for you as a mother when you don't have a mother. I know that you too have struggled with motherhood, and so with that, I want you to remember that all struggles are part of womanhood and motherhood, and all you can be is you. All you can be is you, because you were made up to be you. Your story has made you. And that is a brilliant thing. It's a brilliant thing. So don't worry about other people's opinions. They are just opinions of their story, maybe clashing with yours. It's a life. It's a life. So be who you are, do what you're doing, and remember that no matter what you are, things are going to happen. Was I a perfect mother? No. I was not a perfect mother. I worried for my child, and I got sick because of it sometimes. I wanted things to be changed, but I could not change them because the path of my child was different than my image of my child. And that is the story of every single parent to child. Is they're different than what they thought they could be. And it's up to them to stand on their 2 feet and make their own choices. Remember, things are going to happen. This new year is going to be huge for change. It's going to be huge for the understandings. Things are going to be shifting so much that you forget what things were like at the beginning of the year. So don't worry about things. Things will lay out as you go. Do not worry. Just like the beginning of this year and the end of this year, did you know what was going to happen? No, but you did every minute of the day as a decision, and you got through this year, didn't you? Sometimes upside down, sometimes upright, but you got through it and righted you as an up and down person. So remember that in a moment, things might be a little bit wonky, as this dear one says. I love that word, wonky. That, things are weird and wonky, but you will come forward. You will be the thing that you are. And you are all going to be safe. I know that. I know that you will be safe because you are smart enough, you are wise enough, you are together enough to know how to do it. But it takes you standing up and making decisions for where you are at. The responsibility is you and only you. I want you to remember you are so loved, and the wisdom will come when you need it. Do not worry. The wisdom will come when you need it. Did you hear me? The wisdom will come when you need it. You are an amazing being who can negotiate what is in front of you. I love you. Blessed be. Hello, dear ones. I, Jesus, am here with you to be the gift of wisdom as you are needing some love. Love will be here for you as you walk forward because you choose love over hate. You choose wisdom over disheartedness. You choose gifts over the balance of life. We are all in the midst of who you are, and the change is happening. So it is time, as my mom said, love yourself. I love you, and you have come through so much. Your planet is going through so much, but you as individuals, oh my gosh, I am witnessing some huge steps that you have made in your life to help you be here where you're at. Now it is time for you to take the small steps with the decisions and know that you can be. It is time for you to trust you as you walk forward because your wisdom is greater than you. Did you hear that? Your wisdom is greater than you. And so when you are walking and when you are being, it is time for you to believe that. Remember that change is part of life. Change is meant to be. Change is what is possible. And we, as the guardians of your planet, are asking that you trust the process because, as before, this planet has had major shifts and changes, but the people have not always been so good to it. Now we're trusting the human part of this. So as you go forward, my dears, I, Jesus, am sending you love, kindness, and wisdom. Because you are a miracle here with you, believing in who you are. So time will shift, time will change, time will be where you need to be. But remember, my dear, you are a perfect person in the most perfect place for the perfect being that you are. And that's all you can really be, is in the perfect place for the perfect being, for the perfect one that has made the decisions that she has and are having. And he is having, and they are having. We can only make the choices when the decisions are here. So, may love be with you. And remember, you are loved. You are love. You are the witness of being loved. I, Jesus, send you blessings and miracles in your path so that you can be who you are meant to be. So be. Wow. Thank you for being here. Wow. I hope that was helpful. I hope that was impactful. That was huge. Wow. I'll have to rewatch that and get the message that was given because I feel like it was big. Oh, okay. So I got 15 more minutes. Who would like a card reading? I am thinking, I moved my cards. I rearranged my room here. So my cards aren't over there. They're right here. I rearranged some things. Who wants to be here? The fairies. The fairies wants to talk. So remembering that when you want something and when you're doing something, the fairies are good beings to ask. Money, things like that. Big decision makings. Fairies are good to ask. Oh, there's one card upside down. Oh, there's a couple cards upside down. I have to write those ships before I... So, let me do... Okay, now they're all right. Hi, Veronica. Yes, I will do that. Okay, so you know the drill. Veronica. Okay, so if you are hearing a card being pulled and it resonates with you, even if you're not here on the live, remember that okay, Paula, that if you're not on a live here and the card resonates with you, it was meant for you too. I'm just pulling with the people who are here live and giving a message. But if it resonates with you too, Yahoo. Okay. So, okay, here, Veronica. These are the fairy deck from Doreen Virtue. They want a little bit more room here. Okay. Easy does it is the card for you, Veronica. Easy does it. Stop trying so hard to control everything and all the doors will open for you. Okay. So easy does it here. Easy does it. Okay. Just as the dolphin rides the waves with joy and ease, so will the waves of your life carry you. If you just relax and let everything flow. You drew this card because you've been trying to force something to happen. The underlying fear has created blocks and barriers for you. Take some time to go outside in nature. Help you relax. Let go of the situation. Watch how quickly everything you desire occurs. Additional meanings of this card is relax, have faith, go play, connect with the dolphins, take a sea salt bath, go for a swim, get out of your own way. So that's the card there. Okay, so Paula, here is for you, my dear. Hope that helps. Veronica. Yeah, we've all been kind of going hard at life. And it's okay to stop. It's really okay to stop and be. It's okay to stop and be. We're going to be going through some big changes coming up. So if you are taking December kind of slow, that's okay. Because there's going to be some big changes coming up this next year. And if you need to get a little bit your feet underneath you, please do. Okay, this is for Paula. Woo! So I'm getting that it was these two cards. Okay. So summertime and spiritual teacher are the two cards that came out for you, Paula. So the first one, summertime, everything that you're asking for becomes yours in the summertime. Now, what I'm getting from this card is that you getting out in nature is going to help you balancing with the energies of the land that you're with. We know that you're doing that. And remembering that it is a journey. So things that you're starting now may not come into fruition until summertime, but you will get the path coming forward for you. Because you're a spiritual teacher and your life purpose involves teaching others about healing and spirituality. So remembering that as you go forward, that people are witnessing you about how you're doing things and may not even tell you that they're learning anything from you. But I know for me that people around me are noticing how stable I am, even though I'm not stable sometimes. There was a day the other day, and I actually went to work the next morning, and I told the person who I was interacting with, thank you for letting me process what I was dealing with. I was dealing with some change, and I thank you for giving me just the space to process that part of that change. And she says, I didn't even really notice anything. And I go, but thank you for that. You didn't judge me on it. You didn't hold me in that moment. And I appreciate that. So thank you for letting me process that. And so you never know what you teach somebody and show somebody. But remembering what she's doing, though, she's taking care of herself. She's getting involved. She's in nature, right? So remembering that it is about the inner peace that you can have in the moment. And remembering that we may not know anything that is happening until summertime for a lot of things happening in the United States here. So remembering that, the summer solstice might be a big impact for you. Okay. I hope that helps. Is there anybody else who would like a card? I noticed that a couple more people are watching here. I will pull a card for everybody. What is the card? The fairies, what do you want to say? What do you want to say here? Okay, fairies. Okay, there's that card. Oh, summertime again. So the summer is going to be huge. There's something about summer the second time the card came up. I can't shuffle decks like this. That doesn't work for me. Okay, this card here is calling out, let go, let go. So I'm going to read the summertime and let go. So I'll read summertime first. Everything, let's see, summer. Okay, summer. Okay. Everything you are asking for becomes yours in the summertime. You've drawn this card because you wonder when your desires will manifest. This card represents the reassurance that your wishes have been heard, and divine timing is clearing the way for your answers, prayers to come to you in perfect time. In this case, you will finally realize your dreams in the summer. There is other meanings to this card. You are moving to a warmer location. Spend some time outdoors in the sunshine or with a full spectrum light. So wintertime, time to get uh, it's time for us to get our vitamin D too. So sometimes that can mean it. Take a vacation, especially warm and sunny place. So, but what is that fairy doing? She's slowing down and she's just knowing that she's in the perfect timing. Okay. So let go is another one. Let go. Just open a book to it. So let go. Letting go. So as you surround the need to control, you realize, or sorry, let me start over. As you surround let me start over. As you surrender the need to control, your relaxed energy rapidly attracts your desires. The fairies and the entire universe understand your desires and needs, and they have been trying to bring them to you. You can help your prayers be answered by letting go of the need to control of the details or know the future outcome of this situation. The more you can relax and trust, the faster everything will resolve in a positive fashion. The universe plans and stands for you exceed your own. So it's best to learn upon the divine, or to lean upon the divine wisdom and allow it to unfold in a perfect way. If you need to experiment with letting go, you can always take back control. However, the fairies are sure that you'll like the result of releasing and will adopt it in a healthy new lifestyle. So, additional meaning of this card is you have nothing to worry about as everything is working out for the best. Maintain a positive outlook and to attract a positive outcome. Attend a 12-step meeting such as Alcoholics Anonymous to get help with addiction. Spend time outdoors to reconnect with God. Have faith. When learning is a new skill, trust your body's innate abilities. Instead of over analyzing a situation, listen to your heart. So there's some additional meanings to that card. So in other words, there's going to be a lot of things coming up and changes until summer, and then letting go and trusting the process. That's amazing. And that's one thing that I'm learning, because I know for me, my cortisol has been really triggered lately. And with me, that my cortisol being triggered, it wasn't healthy for my digestive system. It wasn't healthy for my nervous system. It wasn't healthy for my sleep. So the more I released and really worked on letting go, the more my cortisol, and I know that, stress with the holidays and the grief and everything that can happen, but remember sea salt baths, remembering that things can happen. Remember to breathe deep. Remember that as you go forward, life is going to be happening. And the more we want to stress out about it, that's something that we can't control, it's not going to help us at all with our own personal cortisol and our own personal body. So take hold of who you are and what you're doing, and remembering that you are loved, that that things are happening for us and with us, and remembering that happy Thanksgiving to those who celebrate it. Please remember that as you walk forward, that you're not alone during those days. We have a lot of loved ones who are saying something, like I actually made something, and my mother said you forgot butter on it. Oh well. Well, I'll do different, right? So as you go forward, remember you're okay. Next week, I was remember hearing that I might be on Monday or Tuesday channeling Mikkel again. There's something about that shifting up that we're going to go to, that they really want to be present here with you. So teamwork is here. We just got to listen to it. I hope I can be helpful. Thank you for being here. I'm loving every single one of you who is with me on these days, even if it's later. And please remember, no matter what you're doing, you're going to be perfectly imperfect going through all these changes, and allow your grief, even if it's as simple as you can't get together with somebody, or things are not working out the way you want to. Remember, grief is part of this dance, and love yourself through that. I think there was something about a hug. Hug yourself. Look in the mirror and tell yourself you're beautiful and that you're amazing, because you are. I'm Natasha Venter, Intuitive Clarifications. If you're looking for some help with this, I am here for you. Bye now. Thank you, Veronica. Happy Thanksgiving for you. And Paula, if you're still here, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, my dear. May everything come out the way that you're wanting it to be. Because, oh gosh, things are changing. Blessings. Bye.